Imagine standing among the marble ruins of a once great empire, the air heavy with silence, the echo of glory long gone. Every empire, no matter how vast or powerful, eventually meets its end. From Rome's crumbling walls to the Soviet Union's final collapse, history has shown us one undeniable truth. No superpower lasts forever. But why do empires fall? Is it greed? Corruption? War? Or something deeper? Something built into human ambition itself? Today, we're diving into the rise and fall of the world's greatest empires, and the lessons their collapse still whispers to us today. An empire is more than territory. It's an idea. It's the belief that one people, one culture, one ruler can hold dominion over others. It starts with unity, ambition, and purpose, but it often ends in arrogance, corruption, and decay. Throughout history, every empire has followed a hauntingly similar pattern: rise, dominance, decline, collapse. Historians call it the imperial cycle. The ingredients that build greatness, innovation, expansion, confidence can later become the seeds of destruction. When success breeds overconfidence, and as each empire reaches its peak, cracks begin to form beneath the marble, small at first, then unstoppable. Let's begin with the most iconic example, Rome. For nearly 500 years, the Roman Empire ruled the known world. It built roads that stretched across continents, armies that crushed entire nations, and a culture that defined Western civilization. But as Rome expanded, it began to rot from within. Economic strain, political corruption, and endless wars drained its strength. The rich grew richer, the poor grew restless, and foreign invasions tested its fragile borders. In 410 AD, the unthinkable happened. Rome was sacked. The Eternal City burned. It wasn't a single event, but a slow, unraveling centuries of greed, division, and denial. Rome didn't fall in a day. It fell in the mirror of its own greatness. Next came an empire of pure conquest, the Mongols. Under Genghis Khan, the Mongols built the largest contiguous empire in history, stretching from China to Europe. Their speed, brutality, and strategy were unmatched. But after Genghis' death, the empire began to fracture. The same force that built its loyalty to one supreme leader became its weakness. Without unity, the Mongols splintered into rival camps. Within a century, the unstoppable storm had dissolved into dust. Their downfall teaches a clear truth: no empire can survive forever on fear and force alone. For over 600 years, the Ottoman Empire stood as a bridge between East and West, a symbol of power, religion, and resilience. But even the strongest bridge erodes with time. By the 19th century, the Ottomans were called the sick man of Europe. Internal corruption, technological stagnation, and nationalist uprisings tore at its seams. When World War I arrived, the empire's fate was sealed. In 1922, the Ottoman Empire officially ended, replaced by modern Turkey. Its fall wasn't explosive. It was a slow, painful fading of a world that couldn't adapt fast enough to a changing age. At its age, the British Empire ruled over a quarter of the planet's population, the empire on which the sun never set. Yet, the very forces that made it powerful industrial might, global trade, and colonial expansion also brought about its downfall. World War I and II drained its economy. Independence movements rose across Asia and Africa. Britain's grip loosened, not through defeat, but through exhaustion and transformation. By the mid-20th century, the empire had given way to a commonwealth, a symbolic echo of the past. The British fall reminds us that even the greatest powers cannot rule forever. The world always shifts, and history always resets the balance. In modern history, few collapses were as sudden or shocking as the Soviet Union. Born from revolution, it became one of two global superpowers. Its influence reached from Eastern Europe to the edge of Asia. But behind the Iron Curtain, cracks were forming: economic stagnation, political corruption, and an unsustainable arms race with the United States. When Mikhail Gorbachev introduced reforms like glasnost and perestroika, the system buckled. In 1991, The Soviet Union officially dissolved, a nuclear superpower undone not by invasion but by its own contradictions. When you look at these collapses side by side, Rome, the Mongols, the Ottomans, the British, the Soviets, the same patterns emerge. Empires don't fall because of one bad leader or one battle. They fall because they stop listening, stop adopting, and stop uniting. Corruption eats away from within. Arrogance blinds the powerful, and the people, once proud, lose faith in their leaders. Technology, economy, and ideas shift faster than empires can adapt. And in the end, the collapse isn't a bang, it's a long sigh of inevitability. Today, as we look around the world, the same warning signs are flashing again. Economic inequality, political division, environmental strain, history's old ghosts are whispering once more. Every superpower believes it's different. Rome did, Britain did, the Soviets did. But history has no favorites, only patterns. And maybe the true question isn't if modern powers will fall, but when. And how we'll remember them. Empires rise, empires fall, but their stories live on to teach us who we are. If this journey through history fascinated you, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more cinematic history stories that bring the past to life. Drop a comment below which empire's fall do you think was the most dramatic, and could we be witnessing the next one? Until next time, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and remember, even the greatest walls eventually crumble, but the lessons they leave behind